So if you're outside, if you're out there, please come in. We're about to close the door. We're about to close the doors. I see from the look of things, all our panelists are here. I can actually see the 4 of them. They're all here. So our ushers, we've been doing a very, very good job ensuring that everybody's in the room. And Arthur decided this time round to come in early. You're so lucky. You're a good student. So I'm calling upon all our ushers to come and support us with this. We're about to close the door. He decided to come early this time round. He was hoping that you'll be locked out. So we're closing the door in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We've closed the doors. It's only one person that we will allow in. Look at them, look at them. So I believe we have everyone in except Alex and you came in late when we were literally closing the door. Yes. You are in this together. So the 2 of you sit there. This is your moment of fame. Sit wherever you want to sit. I want you to take a second and think of a dance move for that song. You collaborate. You discuss, you co-create a dance move. We are all about partnership. So collaborate, co-create. Good. MC Steel, they are good to go. So guys, over here, you have some space. Show us the moves. No. External organs. How will we follow if you don't show us the external organs? So let's start. DJ. Okay. Hey, 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 Benta! 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 Hey. Thank you very much, MC Stain. Now, on that very excited mood, I want all of us to remove our smartphones. We said in this room it's just smartphones. Only MC still has a kadbambe, kaduda. He's allowed because he does a lot of M-Pesa transactions, yeah? So our phones up. Stand up. Stand up with your phone. With your phone. Do you have a QR scanner? QR code scanner. I want you to go to that setting. Strategically, go to the screen next to you. I want you to go to a screen next to you. You guys are not moving. Get a screen, move next to the screen. Move to the other screen. Guys at the back, get closer to the screen because we are going to do it together. Bana, adult ally. Adult allies. So, are you next to the screen? Is it on? Are you at the QR scanner? So in 5, and the first person to scan it will get an award. I will be able to know. I can see. Just shout. If you are the first person, I know you will see something. Whatever you see, shout that name, okay? So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He was the first one. What are you seeing? What are you seeing? What have you seen? Did you see me? Did you see me? Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. Oh, you have seen me in that Kaduda? Wow, that's amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, take a screenshot of that. If you know you need someone somewhere, those are my contacts. Reach out to me. But before we sit, I have the last one because we want to have the conversation going on. So, MC Steel, come over here. You know, remember that's something we did somewhere together. I want us to do it here today so that they know.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is MC Steel, S-T-E-E-L. I'm an MC, I'm a corporate comedian. So, do we make jokes or dance? Dance. You sure you have the jokes? You can dance as you joke. So how many people use this? How many people? So since nobody is using, let's start this session on a high note. Turn to the person seated on your right. Give them a high five for me. A high five. If they're looking at you as if you are the finance bill, turn to the left to the other person. Then give them a high five. Tell them, neighbor. Shout a little. Tell them, neighbor. I'll make it bigger. Tell them, neighbor. I love you by force. Hope you are sitting next to your wife. Because the rest I don't understand. Leave alone that. So this is what you're going to do. I'll request that you all rise up on your feet. We are going to do simple dances. You just follow my lead. Simple dances. Just follow my lead. So, sawa. On your feet, on your feet, on your feet, on your feet. Are you there? Are you there already? Good. Now, in the count of 1, 2, 3. So we are going to start with our hands. Right hand up like this. Right hand up like this. Do you have your left hand to bring them together? Now I want you to variate. This is what you're going to do. Go, 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 go. Now to your right. To your right. To your right. Turn to the left. To your left. Now get that phone. Get that phone. Do this. Get that phone. Two. Easy. Now because you might be dancing and you start sweating, now this is how you wipe your sweat. Like this. Again. Go. Go. One more time. Now this one is very easy. Down. Up. Down. Up. Thank you so much. Asante sana.
Round of applause to MC Steel. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The ugali, the fish, the chicken has settled down in the right place right now, yeah? And now we are energized and ready for the afternoon session, yeah? Thank you very much, MC Steel, for that. Extreme exercise. Some of us don't remember the last time we were in the gym. So this was actually very, very good for us.
That was the gym.
Oh, that was a gym in itself. So, Steve,
Yes, please.
before we went for lunch. We talked of developing partnerships for change. Yes. And we have said that this time around we are very focused. We are focusing on issues. Yes. We're not discussing everything, but we are looking at the key issues that we feel that we can all collaboratively join hands and ensure that there is an impact that is going to come out of it. Not just impact for now, but looking at the longer periods, something that will be sustainable, that even after the ICON project or the Youth Alive, Youth Excel, whatever, comes to an end, there is some change that can be felt by generations to come. That's what we have agreed on, yeah?
That's what we've agreed on, and that's actually brings us now to the afternoon session. So what do we have for the afternoon session?
So we want to have a conversation. All our panelists are here. We have very, very interesting individuals who are going to join us in this discussion that we want to have this afternoon. There's somebody to support here. Good. So we want to talk about working as a unified ecosystem to strengthen youth work readiness in Kisumu. Looking at the panelists, it speaks to the theme of this panel discussion. Looking at their faces, these are very, very young people, yeah? They're very young people, yeah?
Very.
Very young people, yeah? Yes. I know even Grace Jobita is young at heart. But you see, when you work with young people over and over again, you find yourself being, a young person. Sometimes unajipata unafanya zile vituko wanafanya. Anyway, so we have Zedi Misiga from the Data and Learning. He's the Data and Learning Lead, ICON Data Labs. Zedi enjoys nature walks, and he loves exploring new places. One interesting thing about Zedi is he always loves sitting at the back. I don't know why. I have never seen him sit in front. Any day you call him for a meeting, he always sits at the back. You see the guy in a yellow t-shirt? Look at him. Zedi. That was a cue for you to start standing up and walk in front. He's the data and impact researcher with an extensive experience working in the non-profit sector. Zedi is someone who loves numbers, and numbers don't lie, and he breaks them down for you to understand them in a way that creates some sense. So currently, he is the data learning lead at ICON Data Labs. I know he will tell us more about the ICON Data Labs. So next to him, we have AC Olang. She's here somewhere. Yeah. So AC has contributed towards social transformative changes in social movements in South Africa. Yes. She is a young Pan-African feminist passionate about gender development and championing for women and youth representation and inclusion in political, social, and economic spheres. And she told me that if it were not for this meeting today, we could have seen her somewhere over there doing her thing. Yes, and her spirit was, actually she was there in the morning. She's just confirming that. She went there in the morning because she's so passionate about it. She has served as the president of the Rotaract Club, Winam Youth Chapter in 2020-2021. She currently serves as the Gender and Social Inclusion Lead Advisory at Kenya Female Advisory Organization, better known as Kefiado. Makofi. Next to AC, we have Edmond Wadera, and I saw him. Oh, you made it. Thank you for creating time. Round of applause to Edmond. So he is a certified information security manager. He is a certified ethical hacker. Underline the word ethical. Some of you do it unethically. Yes, he is a cyber incident manager, among others. Currently, he is interested in data governance, risk, and compliance practices as tools for managing modern organizations. Put your hands together and welcome Edmond Wadera, Principal Data Protection Officer, Office of the Data Protection Commissioner in Kisumu Regional Office. Karibu sana, Edmond. Next to Edmond, we have Grace Jobita, who has been very vocal since day one, just breaking down things and setting some things right when we are getting it wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, she has over 28 years of experience in public service, senior management and governance oversight. She has led numerous initiatives in public finance management, serving as the chairperson of the Anti-Corruption Civilian Oversight Body. She is fluent in English, Swahili, and Luo, and her prowess in communication has enabled her to effectively collaborate with diverse stakeholders in Africa. So I'm very sure she was taking notes. Where I was missing it, she will call me aside and tell me, my daughter, next time this is how you put it. Welcome, Grace. And of course, we have our moderator for this panel discussion. She recently turned to farming. Yeah. Do you want to know why she turned into farming?
Yes, we do.
Due to the high cost of food products in this country, she said that, no, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to do something, ensure that I have my kitchen garden, I have my onions, tomatoes, and everything that I might need so that I can cut cost on a couple of things. This tax is killing everybody. Anyway, she is the Youth Excel Project Lead, IREX. She is yours truly,
Sylvia Kananu.
Come on, she's yours truly, Sylvia Kananu. Take it away, Sylvia.
I think we want to give a round of applause the way we learned. We are here, we are people who are open to learning, isn't it? So what did we learn from Dalo yesterday? Let's give a good round of applause to our panel. Yes. Yes. Thank you very much. And again, thank you so much to all our panelists who are here today. Some of you have been with us since yesterday. Some of you are joining us today. But all in all, we are grateful that you're here. We've been having very good conversations. And what we're having today here is really just a culmination of what we've been talking about, what we've been gearing at. And so, as you can see, the panel discussion we have here is about a unified ecosystem. We're here to talk about how, I'm sure all of us in this room represent different stakeholder groups. And we really want to understand how can we as different partners come together so that we can be able to see how we can support young people better in getting jobs and also in getting business opportunities. So just so that we can understand one another better, I want to pass a question to you. So all of us are in an ecosystem playing different roles. So my first question to you is, how do you see yourself in the role where you are in terms of how you can contribute to youth employability and how your role fits into that?
Thank you very much. It's an honor. Though I came in last, I'm speaking first. Thank you. I think maybe our MC did not say the role I play now, though it's all over the screen. Currently, I'm in charge of social protection at the Office of the Women Representative, Kisumu County. You will allow me to mention that at the Office of the Women Rep, we have a strategic plan that has got 6 pillars. And all the 6 pillars, I think, speak to the needs of the youth. The first pillar is on enterprise development, which I think I've spoken of quite a number of times. Since I came here, I was told I've been very loud, and I'm glad I've been heard. Secondly, we have food security. We have blue economy, which talks to the beach communities where we have many youths working with the fisher folk. And then we have social protection. And we also have what we call infrastructure, which is basically focusing on agro-industries and also GBV safe spaces. But also, from the question that you've asked, I think it is important to note that since I've been speaking from yesterday, I think the first area that we are really going to understand each other is on financial literacy under enterprise development, where I think to date we have trained more than 1,500 groups, of which only 220 are youth groups. Because like I said earlier, getting to the youth groups has been a bit difficult, maybe because of some of the conditions that we have, and we have given out more than 42.8 million in grants. So after taking you through the financial literacy, we'll give you the grant. Secondly, is on skills development. That is the TVETs. Now, as one member said that we have about 28 TVETs in Kisumu County. So what we do, our main responsibility from the Kenyan Constitution is to reduce vulnerability for the special interest groups. And unfortunately, the youth should not be listed under special interest groups, because your voice, you are too many and your voice is too loud, but for some reason constitutionally, you are still under the special interest groups with the women, you are with the girls, you are with the PWDs, and also you are with the senior citizens, and in that order. So I think it's important if we start having a conversation that can change that, but under skills development, we partner with the TVETs and we give full scholarships. So we do suitability tests for those who want to drive for parastatals and also the government, but we also do trade tests. Maybe you've gone to Juakali, umefanya Juakali, but you have no certificate to show you are qualified. Then we also take them for the other technical trainings. So we support them in all the TVETs in the county, but at the same time, we will be hosting our first youth forum this year. And I believe that with the information I have learned here today, and also what the CEC members spoke of yesterday, I believe that the two institutions can partner, and then we have the biggest youth forum ever in Kisumu County, but so that we can discuss some of the issues that we have not finished discussing here today, so that we can continue with that conversation. But all in all, what we also do is, if you are in any other, let me say, if you do something different from what I've mentioned, like if it's in agriculture, we take care of that. We give out tanks, solar water pumps, we give out seedlings, we give out seeds, we give out so many things. But at the same time, if there's a special request, then of course we can reach out to the other government institutions and also do what we can for you. If I remember everything, being that I'm loud, you are sure I will say it. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace. That's quite a plethora of things that NGAF is doing. And I'm hoping you're taking notes in case you didn't know some of them. Yes, let's hear from you, Zeddy.
Thank you so much, Sylvain, for this opportunity. First of all, I just want to know by a show of hands, how many of us believe that data is everywhere? Yes, exactly. So I guess I'm just trying to answer Purity's question on why I like to sit at the back. I'm always doing data collection. Yeah, so just to introduce Icon Data and Learning Labs, as part of the process that we are doing over here for Icon, Kisumu Icon Data Summit, I believe most of you might still be asking, what is the impact of this program? I'm a testimony that if you are looking for the impact of the program, then here is one. So we are thank you so much. So we are a child of Icon. I call myself. We normally call ourselves our child of Icon because we still get to learn from them and work a lot with them. But as an organization, as Icon Data and Learning Labs, what we intend to do, we work with community organizations, SMEs, and also marginalized populations, just to try and ensure that we are excelling in digital skills. And also, we are still continuing the action of improving evidence-based decisions within our organizations. So in various ways that we get to work with different SMEs and bring people on board, we have a thematic area which is known as data tech incubation. For data tech incubation, we are simply trying to bring businesses into the data economy. And we are believers that when it comes to evidence, evidence should never be an afterthought. But in the work that we do, we try to work with the organizations so that evidence is always integrated as part of the work we are doing. And we see it a lot even in the businesses where when they want to do their market research, they get to look for consultants. So why would you be looking for consultant and yet you're the similar person who's been working with that same market? So we help such organizations to develop tools and also platforms where they are able to always get high quality data from the work that they're doing every day. But beyond that, we also have programs where we capacity build different persons in the community with what we are calling data and digital literacies, so that they are also able to feel part of the digital economy and the 4IR, fourth industrial revolution that we are coming into. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Zeddy. I think all of us in this room are aware that the digital platform is a space where youth are going to get and are getting economic opportunities. So we are glad to have people like Zeddy who are helping youth to navigate that space. I'll pass it on to Atieno.
Thank you. And just to mention, I'm so excited to be part of this panel. It's great when we get together and share ideas and co-create. As an organization, we've been in existence for years, and I'd like to start by bragging. 3/4 of the staff members who work at my organization are under 35. I think we only have one person who's above 35. And therefore, our programs, our interventions are designed issues that affect young people. And so, to start, our politics has always been centered around what is decent work. Because for the longest time, youths don't have jobs, youths are unemployed, and we realize that in the agricultural sector, there's a lot of stereotyping. Even at branding level, you'll often meet billboards or posters that have older people or elder people doing the farming. And therefore, even at school, when we were taught, if you made a mistake, your punishment would be to go to the farm or to do some agricultural work. So growing up, that our involvement in the agricultural space has been tainted. And for us as an institution, we have programs where we deliberately have interventions that target the young people. For instance, in partnership with Practical Action, there's a project we're implementing known as RAY, building resilient agriculture that works for young people. And we're telling young people that, hey, you can actually do farming. It's part of work. You'll get to put food on your table. So we are leading in that program, looking at the gender lens and looking at how we can do gender lens investing. So targeting businesses that really address issues of gender inequalities or address barriers that would otherwise hinder young people from actively participating within these value chains. Our work is predominantly based on the Western region part of Kenya. In Siaya County, we successfully set up a youth hub, which has acted as a safe space for all young people with and without disability. Within the youth hub, they're able to get information on different government services. They're able to get skills training like financial literacy, education. We even have demo plots set up so that they can have trainings on agriculture and farm inputs and that kind of thing. In Kisumu County, we've really invested in a relationship with Akado. And in Akado, they agreed to enroll some of the girls we work with. So the girls, they are part of a sports team. There's a project known as Sports for Change, which we implement. So we usually organize for football tournaments and also para-volley for young people with disability and able to engage, talk about issues that affect them. And through that Sports for Change, we've been able to create linkages. There are those who we've linked to VTCs, vocational academic institutions. There are those who formed groups and even applied for NGAF and got the funds through our involvement. Yesterday I shared with the team that back in 2021 we had a Biashara Fund survey, and some of the issues that came up was there's so many, something I'd call red tapes, like restrictions, and so many requirements to get some of these funds, a lot of documentation involved. And therefore, in response as an institution, we always work with the women groups and also youth groups, guide them on how to documentation in order, fill those application forms, and further create linkages to the relevant offices. In the recent past, 3 years ago, we also supported a total of 14 women groups along the beaches, that is here in Siaya County and also in Homa Bay County. And for us, we were looking at using and utilizing the financial framework as a means to eliminate GBV. So what we did was support these women groups with a tune of 1 to 1.5 million to set up income generating activities. And so far, the success that we have realized is, it's amazing. These groups, their businesses have expanded to some level. For some groups, they even got increased visibility because they were part of a national TV program that was speaking to issues to do with income generating activities for women groups. We have those who up to date continue to have shareouts of 800,000 a year. So these are some of the successes we have realized in relation to working with youth groups and most particularly young women groups, investing in their skills and creating a safe space where they can work and not feel that, work is that 9 to 5 seated behind a desk. They can create self-employment and thrive in it.
Thank you very much. I see you're doing a lot, and we're going to get back to that in a few. But first, let's hear from Mr. Edmond.
Thank you, Sylvia. Afternoon once more. We are alert, right? My friend at the corner, hi. Good. Yes. How many of us know about Office of the Data Protection Commissioner? Statistics like ZD did. Wow, that is less than a quarter even, right? Wow. Good enough, I'm here. So you'll allow me get to appreciate who we are. We are an independent state office established by the Data Protection Act that was enacted in November 2019. Actually, privacy is a fundamental right set out in the Constitution, Article 31C of it. So the Act came about to operationalize the. If we keep calling the Constitution new and it's 2010, then we will say we are very new as an organization. Because the Act was enacted in 2019, but the office was established in 2020, November, by the appointment of the first employee, which is the Data Commissioner. Regards from Madame Kasait. You know Kasait? Oops, I see people even surprised. Who is she? That's why we're here as an office. So yes, our role is simple. We are a regulator for data processing. We regulate both public and private institutions. And I like the theme of the day, integration, right? You're talking about a unified ecosystem. We might not be having products that are youth specific per se, but if you look at our mandate and the opportunities that come about as a result of the Data Protection Act, there are a lot of opportunities that the youth can actually exploit. I must acknowledge the partnership that we already had with ICON, ZD. Anybody from Aherinet? You know Aherinet? Yeah, such are institutions that have already reached out, and we are in partnership and collaboration with them. So we regulate processing of personal data. We do this through registration of data handlers. You who is a data controller or processor, I'm actually giving data protection 101 lessons. So you need to register with us. I hear a lot of us are engaged with youth groups. I don't know these particular institutions. But as you do that, you're actually engaging individuals, is it not? Yes, and these individuals, you're actually dealing or processing their. Remember, if you're doing that, probably again, census, how many of us are registered with us, the Data Protection Office? Yes, I hope you know where that places you. We know what that places you, and you actually, in a way, in violation of the provisions of the Act. Not to scare anyone, but just to speak to the reality, right? Since the Act was enacted, and you can't come and say it's a new thing. once an act is enacted, it is expected of you to comply. Is it not? So yes, if you're not registered, please make it a point, because it's an obligation that you need to register. So if you're handling personal data today and you're not registered, you're actually in violation of the act. So we do registration, we do compliance audits, and the compliance audit can be as a result of an incident, or the act also gives us the mandate to do it out of our own volition. Like next month, we flag out and say we want to visit this number of institutions. I see there are about 20 of them here. We just pick 10, we'll do a notice to you, we'll come in to do an audit, compliance audit to your environment. Yes. But if you look at the gist of it, as an office, we actually push for self-regulation through implementation of privacy by default, right? So as we do this, we engage in trainings. We train a lot, as also part of our mandate, create sensitizations. We've just done a training for ZD's group. I don't know if there's anyone who was part of that group. We did a month training, 4 weeks, yeah, through his organization. And such are the collaborations. Yes.
I think we have, how many organizations do we have for Ijue Data Yako program? I know Tinada is there, Njema is there. Yeah, there are quite a couple, so feel free. Yeah.
Yeah, so they can actually attest to what we're doing here. So we do trainings, we do audits, we do inspections. We also handle complaints. And I think that is the other bit that those that know about the office will know much about. Meaning that if you violate the rights and the freedoms of a data subject, they can actually seek recourse from the office in a way of filing a complaint. We've got quasi-judicial powers. So we'll investigate, do a determination, and actually issue fines or penalties for that matter, which can be a compensation or administrative fines. You must have seen out there, and this is always public, institutions that have suffered. But again, the encouragement here is that we do this, inculcate the culture of actually data protection by ourselves. So if you look at that mandate, it creates some bit of spaces for the youth and everyone else that want to ride on it. One, the Act provides for a data protection officer, right? So you can be a DPO. Does not necessarily mean that you need to be hired by an institution. It's not a requirement per se that an institution must recruit a DPO, but the function ought to be executed. So you can actually do it as a service, meaning that there is an opportunity for those of us that are familiar with the Data Protection Act and the regulations thereof. The other bit is the opportunity that you can leverage on is on doing compliance audits. You want to be doing these audits by yourself before the regulator comes, right? You're cleaning up your house before the regulator comes. Walking these institutions in the compliance journey. I mean, compliance is not an event, it's a process. Just there again, I must mention that getting a certificate of registration from our office does not denote compliance. Many people misinterpret that. That is just one of the many steps that you need to do. So those are some of the opportunities that come about that the youth can leverage on when it comes to creating an ecosystem that all of us are existing. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. I think it's important to keep note, you know, when we hear about the law, and thank you for teaching us that probably 90% of us in this room are lawbreakers. So I'm sure we didn't know that before today. But yes, remember, as we talk about youth getting more and more into the digital space, it's also important to think about how do we protection. I know this has happened a lot in the past, so it's really good to think about what are some of the ways you can provide cyber security to the young people as well. And so we've gone into a lot of detail to understand what each of these organizations represented by the individuals here do. And that was for our purpose. And we wanted to see the breadth of how various organizations, very diverse in how they are set up, are working to do something that promotes the well-being, that promotes the economic opportunities of the youth. And so my question, and for this I'll just pass it to Madam Grace and to you, Zeddy. And so we have seen the Kisumu landscape changing. Yeah, we accept it's not been static. And so we really want to understand there's a lot of good that is happening. There's so many organizations like yourselves which are doing quite a number of good things for young people, trying to promote them to get jobs and business opportunities. I think yesterday someone joked that Kisumu has the highest number of organizations in Kenya. Do you remember that? I don't know how true that is. The data people can tell us. Yeah. Okay, but so the point here is, could you maybe share with us what structural changes that you have seen in Kisumu County that have enhanced your ability as organizations to be able to support youth to access jobs and business opportunities? And I'm really emphasizing on the fact on doing this in a collaborative way. We're here to talk about ecosystems, how we are working together. What have you seen that has supported our ability to work together in the different things we do?
Okay, thank you very much. I think I'll start answering that question by giving an example. We recently, like I said earlier, we've not been reaching out to the youth. So we made an attempt to reach out to them through sports. So we said that there are so many girls who are playing football, netball, volleyball, but we are not able to reach them. But we were a bit selfish in the way we were going about this. One, we were looking at a situation where we can create a safe space where the girls play their games because they love football. But other than that, what else can we do to make sure that they can take care of themselves? Those who have children can take care of the children. Those who have dropped out of school can go back. And even the others who want to do something else can get the opportunity to do it. So we registered about 288 girls groups aged between 16 and 22 years. And 176 of those teams were football teams, girls football teams. And I can assure you, when we got to the rural areas and we were seeing girls playing barefoot, and maybe they use one biker and they share it out, because maybe they're wearing shorts, but the shorts are a bit wide, so that even if you fall, you do not, expose a lot of things. So you'll find that when they are playing, when this team gets out of the field, you see them disappearing to exchange bikers. So then we realized that there is something that we are missing. They love sports, but how do we make sure that this helps them? So that attempt gave us an opportunity to see more into a space that we have not been venturing into, the area of sports. Because we know that if you're looking for environment, you'll find very many youth groups in environment. If you're looking for economic empowerment, you'll find very many of them. You go to the rural areas, you'll find youths in farms, like where I'm born, in Ombei, the place where they say that people are tough now, meparara. They are white, because the soil there is black. So when it dries, it is white. So as you walk, by the time you get to where you are going, you will be white yourself because of the color of the soil. So when you go there, most of the youth they are planting rice and sugarcane, and now wameingia kwa arrowroots, nduma. But at the end of the day, we were saying there is a group we are missing out. They only meet in the evening. During the day, you don't see them. So we decided to venture into it. But for us to successfully do this, we realized we could not do it alone. Because as the Office of the Women Rep, we are only given 7 million per constituency, which adds to about 35 million a year. You have to pay staff with that same money. You have to do all your projects with that. You have to run the 2 vehicles with that money. It's not enough. So then, because I'm from a background of working with the NGO world, I proposed that we go into partnerships. So within a period of about 2 months, we came together with about 15 partners, and we successfully launched the tournament, which is now at the constituency stage, but each partner brought a skill to the table. And I'm happy to say that Kefiado is here. They were in charge of Kisumu Central and the Paravoli team, but they were also giving out when it comes to refreshments and other things. They were there. We gave them jerseys and balls. We didn't know how important just a ball to a football team is, especially if girls were not able to access it. Now, these partners opened our eyes to a new way of doing things in Kisumu County, that if you're not able to work alone, you have to work together. But I sensed this also in the Gender Technical Working Group, where one organization has an activity and talks to all the others on the wall, and they come together and they do something bigger. So I think for me, from where I'm sitting, partnership and collaboration has changed the way things are being done in Kisumu County now. And at the end of the day, I'm a student of Professor Dan Kaseje, who said that when 2 people come together, they do than the individual people, what they do added together. So at the end of the day, if at all you think you're going to get 2, now you end up getting 10. So based on that, it has been now an uphill task for us to identify the partners that we can work with. But I'm happy to say that we've already signed off with, we are almost signing off with KMET, and they are supporting us with gender-based violence and also some other gender issues, and also they want us to run their economic empowerment program. We started a discussion or a conversation with KMET. Actually, the day before yesterday was our first meeting with TINADA. We are going to have another meeting with all heads of departments, and then we'll see a way forward. So what I can say from where I sit, that what has changed in Kisumu County is the way we do things. You no longer do it alone. Though, of course, there is the challenge of when you are a government, and I think Orude will agree with me on this, when you're working for the government and you approach a partner who has got some money, it's like the first thing is they know you want their money. So for them to give it to you, my friend, you have to sweat. And you have to convince them why, by them giving it to you, they're also going to benefit from it. And that is why when, for some of us, I was sharing yesterday at a table, that you will see a lot of these photos on the wall of the women rep. Because I'm here. I may not have contributed anything to this function, but I'm talking here, and at the end of the day, we are going to have more partnerships from this place. So that is how we do it around here. Thank you very much.
A better round of applause. I think two things that struck me as you were speaking. First and foremost was that realization that we can't do this alone. And I think many of us are probably at that point. We are happy with the work that we are doing, but you're realizing there's a block. We can only go so far. And I think that realization is the first step to understanding we need each other and to work as an effective ecosystem. And I was really impressed that in 2 months, you're able to get 15 partners on board, not on paper, on board, and doing something, and the sports tournaments are actually ongoing. And that tells me that in this room, if there are people that you find mutual interest, it's possible to partner. So I think ICON participants, other youth in the room, take note, there's possibility of partnership here. Thank you very much. Over to you, Zedi.
Thank you so much. Just to pick it up on the same spirit of collaboration. Myself, I came into Kisumu in 2020, so officially 2021 because of the COVID. And for quite a while, government, if you compare the government, the national government and the county government, the perception for the national government was that the youth need to do their own thing, and then the government does their own thing, but the government gets to decide then what everybody is supposed to do. But the kind of spirit that I found in Kisumu County, I think might also, the only closest one could only be Makueni, because in Kisumu, the government is intentional and deliberate. If you look at this room currently, we have more than 30% of government officials who could be doing some other job elsewhere, but they are here with us. So this kind of meaningful collaboration, where it's not just tokenism and the youth being seen in different tables because they are youth, but it's meaningful collaboration that extends to various offices. And I could say much about Orude particularly, and also Mr. Kaloch. In fact, Mr. Kaloch's story is very interesting because we just won a grant from the Commonwealth, the Year of the Youth, and we'd not interacted much with Mr. Kaloch, but as part of the due diligence, as part of the national government, the Commonwealth team reached out to him, and he had good words to say about us, I think because of the work that we are also doing. But on a personal level, I think we've not interacted that much for him to understand me as a person. But I'm just trying to show that, just like it was said in the morning, it is not about someone being an icon so that they can get into different spaces, but it's also about the kind of effort you're putting in as a youth, so that you're able to be seen in some of these platforms by the grace of your work. That being said, in terms of just work and youth work readiness that you're doing in Kisumu, we are not only trying to do this alone as ICON and Data Labs. We realize that there are many enterprise support organizations in Kisumu. Some of them are in this room, including Afri45. We work closely with them. And the whole idea of this collaboration is that as ICON Data, we are very good in data. And yes, while I'm a support organization, I have the rights to teach anyone about business development and probably even marketing skills. We are not the best that can provide that service. So together with other organizations like Afri45, and also we have homeless of Kisumu, and also we have there's one, the Baye. We are trying to ensure that we are not only building entrepreneurs in isolation, but we want holistic entrepreneurs. If they come to Icon Data and Learning Labs, to be able to improve their monitoring, evaluation, and learning systems, and also data management systems, they're able to do that at Icon. But we don't pretend to try to teach them marketing skills. For that, we take them and we advise them to go to another different support organization. So you realize that while we are doing this, what you're thinking around is sustainability and scalability. We don't want to come with, we don't want a situation where we're having half-baked entrepreneurs, and I think it was mentioned yesterday that it is very difficult to find small businesses celebrating their second year. Yeah, this is true, but it's also because of some of the approach that we've taken that is away from collaboration and away from trying to work together for the betterment of the community. Thank you so much. Beyond that, we're also working with ODPC, just as some ODPC is like semi-autonomous, right? Yeah, so I'm just pushing this in also just to mention that it's not only about working with the county government, but there are also different organizations that you could work with to push your agenda. In fact, they've been able to assist us do some of the training, because like I spoke about data literacy. We've currently empowered almost 25 organizations, and this part of preparation is also to help them be compliant. It's one of the processes, like he was mentioning. It's not only just about getting certification. And one risk that we were afraid of running into as CBOs, yes, the government requires us to register. But most organizations, yes, you could say, okay, let me pay and then register and have the certification. But what about practice? So as Icon Data and Data Labs, we are working so hard to ensure that it's not just a matter of you registering, but also in practice, you're handling data in an ethical and responsible manner, so that you can not only safeguard your rights as an organization, but also safeguard the rights of the data subject or the community. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Zedi.
Just like to chime in on that.
Okay.
Part of it, we have to really acknowledge some of the key achievements we've had as a county. 4 years ago, at Huduma Center, we didn't have a lift. The office that was in charge of dealing with the disability issues or disability mainstreaming was probably at 8th floor. It took a lot of advocacy efforts and non-violent activism from all actors here in the room to get that the building disability friendly. For a long time, our gender department really struggled. That is at county level. It was within the education department or sector, and therefore every financial year, budgetary allocation is taken towards, setting up VTCs or early childhood. And at the end of the day, the department that is now mandated to mainstream gender issues doesn't get enough allocation. Also, it took a lot of advocacy efforts from all civil society organizations in the room to have the gender department get the autonomy to be able to design and program the kind of work they need to do. In 2021, we successfully launched the Kisumu Gender Mainstreaming Policy. And right now we see it's now a directorate, it's on its own, and inshallah, it's going to get more budgetary allocation to continue mainstreaming the work they do. And the intention, of course, is to also have, gender mainstreaming units in every department, so that integration or mainstreaming doesn't work parallel. It is, integrated into the kind of programs we have at county level. So we've had structural changes, and they've also contributed a lot towards youth engagement or youth meaningful participation. At the time, I was getting involved in the gender sector working group. Before, initially, it was called the Gender Technical Working Group. Based on current regulations, it's been changed to Gender Sector Working Group across all counties. We really didn't have so many youth-led organizations, but at the moment, we have so many youth-led organizations, CBOs, and to some extent, even groups being part and feeling part of the discussions. And even some of their suggestions are put into consideration. So those are some of the remarkable changes we've gotten to realize.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that, both Zedi and Atieno. I think the main thing I'm picking up from here is that we have seen evidence that when we come together for a common goal, we are seeing that the results, the fruits of it are more, right? You've been able to see that your collective advocacy was able to help. And I also like what you said about Zedi, that I'm only good in this area, so why should I pretend that I can also do marketing sales? Why don't I just work with another organization that can do that? And that results into more holistic approaches. So that's something really interesting. And I'm glad that that is the mindset that we are seeing among the organizations. Before we run out of time, I'd encourage we maybe try and keep our comments a little bit more succinct. And so I know that despite our best efforts, this is work we love, we are passionate about, that's why we're in the areas we work in. We still have challenges. So we've seen there's been progress, but there are still challenges. And what I'm really curious to hear about, and maybe I'll pose this question now to both you, Atieno and Edmond. And so what would you say are the top two things that hinder your ability to work more collaboratively, especially in light of this idea of youth economic opportunities?
Thank you. Probably I'll also start by just making one or two comments about the structural changes that have been done to support collaboration. We have a full-fledged directorate for collaboration, advocacy and collaboration in our office. And its role is actually to look out for entities that we can partner with and execute our mandate. The other bit is, as an office, we've got regional offices. Remember I said we are very new, 2020, but we boast of 6 regional offices that are operational today. Kisumu, Mombasa, Nakuru, Kericho, Eldoret, Garissa, and Nyeri. Right? So that is also a deliberate move that we're actually moving closer to the people that we serve. Remember, as a regulator, we have no choice. We regulate both private and public institutions. Yeah, and then the other bit is to leverage on the government's a project of digitization. And now we offer a lot of our services online, that is web-based. We know that the government's deliberate in laying 100,000 kilometers of fiber and about 25,000 hotspots. Sorry? At the moment. I wouldn't give the statistics where we are as of now, but I know that the target is to actually have 100,000 kilometers of fiber, and it's a collaborative move. Government is doing 52,000 kilometers, and private sector is doing 48. So we want to leverage on that. So we are offering our services online as well. Like the registration I'm talking about, you can actually just do it online. Now, challenges that we face. I'll say, for us, now we are in a new region, right, with new dynamics. Remember, we're dealing with yourselves as CBOs and organizations that deal with people. We might not be in the know exactly where you are and how we reach you, so we're actually trying to exploit the available government institutions through the county and the national government offices here and see how we can actually reach out. Number two, we are dealing with people that have got different diversities. And the other bit will be, and actually this could be one of the areas that we can really partner in. Remember, a data subject is that what we call mama mboga, so to speak. So we actually talking about data that belongs to that old grandmother in Siaya, right, who might not be conversant with English. The act is in English. The regulations are in English, right? So getting to appraise these people to understand that indeed when CBOX gets to them, as much as they've got a mandate they are doing or executing, they really do not infringe on their rights as data subjects. I think that is one area that we're finding it a bit challenging. And it will be great to partner with yourselves because you've dealt with these people for a while. You actually know how to get to them, and you've got a language that you speak to them.
On challenges, two things for me, and I might sound a bit radical on this. So first, we have so many CBOs or young, like mushrooming of CBOs and youth-led organizations, and at times it's not issue-based. To mean we want to start up organizations or we want to start up entities so that we get funding, to put food on the table. So the passion lacks. And therefore, when the passion lacks, you end up not really doing community work, serving the community that gave you the idea to put up that entity in the first place. So that has been noted across board. Now that Kisumu has quite a number of NGOs or CBOs as compared to any other county. The other thing is, and what we have noted as an organization, the kind of funding we get at times is restricted. So it only allows you to implement certain interventions to a certain level. So what happens next after a project has come to an end? Are we always thinking of how are we going to sustain some of these engagements? Earlier on, I mentioned that in Siaya we have a youth hub. We did not individually put up the structure, but it's because of the existing relationship we have with the SCC office that resulted to, Kefia, do you guys do a good job? How about you take this space and continue working with your constituents? So we really need to maximize on enhancing these synergies. So the other bit, apart from restrictive funding, we're in a decade to self-reliance. And therefore, right now we are big on having young people start, resource mobilizing on their own, starting income generating activities that will help them drive that social change. So apart from that, codependency to donor funding or, foreign aid, how about we start something that can sustain us beyond? And that's why for us, the focus has always been on, making agriculture more attractive for young people with and without disability. Let us own our means of production so that we are able to generate more income that will sustain social change.
Thank you. Thank you so much to both you, Edmond and Atino. And I hope as we've been listening to these challenges, we've been asking ourselves, are these areas where actually I have solutions? And if so, you found somebody that you can talk to. But I like you are heading to, as you are talking about challenges, you're also talking about solutions. And that's actually where I wanted us to go next, because that's what we want to do. We want to work together to solve problems. And so my question, and this is to all the panelists, so we've talked about, some of the challenges we face. We've talked about the changing landscape of Kisumu in terms of collaboration. And so I wanted to ask each of you, what are some promising practices? What are some things that you've seen have worked when it comes to, being able to benefit from collaboration, to be able to support young people better? So some of those practices could be helpful to the people in the room. So the more practical you are, the better for our audience. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think one of the things that has really worked for us is, you keep your end of the bargain. If you have that conversation and you agree, and you say, for example, that I will offer this, and you offer this, when the time comes, you actually do what you said you're going to do. That has really helped. Because there are times when you agree with a partner that, like for example, I'll give the example of when we were launching the Empower Hakik tournament. And when we got to the venue, there are those who promised that you are going to bring refreshments. So as per your budgeting and your planning, they are going to bring. So you start calling that the vehicle is leaving. Are you bringing the refreshments? And then they tell you, yes, we are on our way. In fact, we are going to give them to you there. Then you say, okay, why don't we just bring so that we balance our numbers? Because the women rep said, if they're not enough, we have to go and buy others. And they say, no, we are already on the way going. Then when you get there, they are not there. So at the end of the day, you have these players who have come, they have played the whole day. You also invited all the coaches from the 288 teams. They were expecting refreshments. And then because they told you they were on their way going, then you now have that issue that, people from the office of the Umekula Pesa, you have eaten the money for refreshments. These government things, you can never be sure. And I know Orude is smiling inside because he has gone through that as well. So that normally puts a question. And we can assure you that there are some organizations that are already marked. That whenever they say they are going to do this, they rarely do it. Another example is that at the moment we are having a small partnership with KMET where we do financial literacy. But before we do that, they come in and then they talk about gender-based violence awareness, just for some 30 minutes. Because we talk to women like in the slum areas who leave their children unattended. And we had a case of a 2-year-old child who was defiled. 2 years, 5 months. Because the mother went to wash clothes for neighbors. So when she came back, the child was different. She was not jumping and doing anything. So when she was asked who did it, she said, she would just say chungu and then mention the name. Chungu means pain. She would just say pain and then mention the name of the neighbor who did it to her. So at the end of the day, we realized that there were so many such cases, and we had very early teenage pregnancies that are happening as a result of if the neighbor has said it, or a relative has done it, or a neighbor has done it, but now you cannot say who has done it. So we realized that we also need to include that conversation in whatever it is with especially the areas of the slums, and no, not slums, informal settlements. Yes. So in that partnership, we have seen KMET keep their side of the bargain. They are on time because they're the ones who start the training, and they always go there before us. And you find they have organized themselves, and we have been happy with the partnership. So now we can extend it to another 3 years because they have been meeting their side of the bargain. But there are those organizations that may want to do something, but because they also want to be seen, they claim we are going to do this, then they don't do it. I remember the last International Women's Day, some people promised they were going to bring tents and chairs. Then now on that day, I think we had only about 4 tents, and there were not enough chairs. And these are partners that we have sat down and we have agreed. So for us, what we are seeing has really worked is when we say we are going to do this, as the Office of the Women Rep, we do it. And we are very good at mobilization. If you want 10,000 women tomorrow, and you tell us now, we will mobilize them. Because we know where they are. If you have 1,500 groups, and each group has got between 20 to 30 members, and we have all their contacts, it's just a matter of calling them and they'll be there. But the other part that has also really worked well for us is where people come to the office, or small organizations come to the office asking for partnership. But when they come, they believe we have a lot of money. But we tell them we have the skills. We may not have the money, but we have the skills. But we also have the government facilities at our disposal. We have the halls, okay? We have the primary schools. We have the institutions of higher learning. We can use their facilities. We don't need to go to a hotel. And then at the same time, these days we have learned we don't need lunch. I know I'm saying this the second day towards the end. Yeah, we don't need lunch. If we can get water and maybe some light refreshment, we can start our trainings at 8 in the morning, and by 2 o'clock, we have finished. And you find we share a lot during that time. So what I will also encourage the young youth-led organizations that are here, that you come to our office, you will tell us what you have, we will tell you what we have, we will sit down, draw a small informal agreement, and then we will even set the date. But what we are asking is on that day, show up. You just need to show up. When you show up, the partnership will grow stronger, and at the end of the day, you'll be doing so much without having even a cent in your account. But you'll be known and you'll be felt. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I think one key thing that Madam kept on mentioning is trust. And I just wanted to speak on this. If you work on the basis of trust, then there's not far that you cannot go. But just to answer on that question, I think one thing that has really worked for us, and also from an inspirational point of view, is the art of paying forward. So I want to speak about paying forward both from an individual level and also from an organizational level. So from an individual level, I'm almost transitioning to join our adult allies. So I find it very important that even as we continue to do our work as youth, if you hold the hand of one person, hold the hand of 2 people, at the end of the day, there's always a ripple effect, and these people, instead of getting into other ideas that could make them end up, say, in jail or end up dead, they can become better citizens of the society. So again, let's learn to pay forward as individuals. But then again, from an organizational level, we do understand that currently we are in the 4th industrial revolution. And like my good friend Edmond was mentioning, we are supposed to do about 100,000 kilometers of fiber. And what does this mean in terms of the data economy? There is so much potential that can still be achieved in terms of even work and local content generation. Yesterday, I think it was just mentioned that only 10% are willing to digitize their businesses. With digitization comes quite a lot of opportunity. And again, when you think of digital, you're thinking of two key things. You're thinking of sustainability, one, and you're also thinking of scalability. With digitization, you're able to scale so faster. You find a mama mboga who's just selling mboga, but you can let them know that, hey, some of the trainings like we do on data literacy, we tell them, hey, so you can use your phone to keep the numbers of clients, and not just keep their numbers, but you can learn at what specific day does what specific client request for a product in your stall or something. And then that is data in itself, and there's also an aspect of learning. So if they're able to evaluate that, then they are always set up to ensure that their customers are having good quality service. It doesn't always have to be on the macro level where you're thinking of what the supermarkets are doing. We are trying to bring it lower to the community. Just speaking still on digitization, currently in Kenya we have about 60,000 software developers. And in 2030, we'll need about 230,000. Aside from, Kenya is number 3 behind South Africa and Nigeria. So we realize there's still a lot of untapped opportunities that we could always speak on. And in terms of even creating local content. And I know there are quite a number of persons that we know that today are just surviving on YouTube videos. There is so much opportunity that can still be tapped into. And as an organization, we are deliberately ensuring that you're not only moving within the community, but you're also working with other organizations, particularly the CBOs and the SMEs, to ensure that as they continue to digitize, then they can become sustainable, and then they can also scale. You know, in any business, when it scales up, then it employs more people, and that's the problem that you're currently grappling with. So I'd just say pay forward. Thank you.
Let's clap for Zeddy. All right. More succinct comments. You can see the MCs on my case. Yeah.
So I had earlier put across some solutions. The third one for me, as young people, we really need to innovate. For the longest time, we've fallen short of constantly reinventing the wheel, duplicating activities. For instance, we've been doing pads distribution for the longest time. How about we start making our own pads? In Siaya County, we successfully trained 30 young women to start making the reusable pads. And of course, we still have also issues with reusable pads, but you know, it's a good start. So we really need to be very innovative so that we don't end up duplicating activities or interventions. Then lastly for me, I believe political education is very important. So let us not shy away from political education. This means you need to know who your duty bearer is, which office they sit in, how you're going to knock that door, how you're going to demand for services, how you're going to demand for the realization of your rights. So that is very important. If you need this ecosystem to work, you need to be the one who are designing those policies, pushing for their implementation, and you know, holding government accountable for their actions.
Thank you for those remarks. I think that's the second time today we are hearing this push for civic education. You remember we also had it in the first panel? Something to think about. All right, our last remarks.
I don't know, this can also couple with my final remarks, so we're going to have another round of final remarks. Thank you. Without necessarily repeating what my colleagues have said, I'll speak to it from a regulator's perspective, and I think the solution lies in what we're doing, partnerships and collaborations. 2, continuous awareness and training, and most importantly, viewing data protection as a business need as opposed to a compliance requirement. This is going to give you competitive edge. We'll be dealing with an informed population that have got trust in you because you are actually handling their data within the environment that is regulated. Finally, to thank you, the organizers, for this, and I hope you're going to have a lot of this. I didn't mention our location. The Kisumu office, if you allow me, is located at Mega Plaza, Wing B, second floor. I know all of us need to register. That one I know. Because from the conversations, you're actually handling personal data. Feel free to engage us. Feel free to reach out. I've got colleagues back there. They've got a few of merchandise. They're going to distribute to us as we finish. So yes, feel welcomed. Invite us. Let's engage. If you want training, if you want to be guided on compliance, feel welcome and karibu sana. I know most of you will want to pull me aside after this. I might not be available to everyone at the same time. So you can pick kisumu@odpc.go.ke as an email. In the event kisumu@odpc.go.ke. In the event that unfortunately I'm not available for you, when you want to pull me aside, just drop an email to that mail, then we'll pick it up from there. Others, thank you so much.
There's one last request from Grace.
Yes, I just wanted to share where the office of the Women Rep is, just in case you do not know. We are at Tomboya Estate, near Golden Elite School. As you go up on Mbele, this is now for, yeah, you know, after you've passed Golden Elite, you get to our office, but just before then, there's a signboard that will direct you. But if you pass it, you'll get to Sapphire. So when you get to Sapphire, it means you need to come back. Yeah. But I think quite a number of you have shared my contacts. And maybe as I finish, what I'll request is that we have a passion for the young people. And being that we are mothers, and as much as the MC was enjoying me that I'm also young, I don't know why that photo makes me look like that. But I believe my sons are as old as some of you because I have 4 grandchildren. So yeah, I know I still look good, yes. So you are welcome to the office of the Women Rep. It's a public office. So anytime you walk in, you can be sure you'll get the service that you need, and we'll do as much as we can to support the activities that you're doing. Thank you very much.
As we wrap up this panel, I think for me, the message I'm getting is we are open. Are you getting that message? Yeah? Isn't it in line with what we are also hearing today? It's a consistent theme. And I really just want to recap some of the things that, some really good insights that they've shared with us in terms of promising practices. First and foremost, keep your end of the bargain. Yeah? We want to partner, but please, the thing that you say you're going to do, please do it. And utilize non-financial partnerships. Money is not everything. So even as we are about to get into the activity after this, think about that. How can we have in-kind partnerships? Again, paying it forward. How can we support another to get to where we are? It sounds like Zed will be inviting you to be an adult ally soon. Innovate. And I'd also add have innovative partnerships that add value. And again, this point on civic education, the more we know what is happening at the civic level, how we can engage with decision makers, the more we can get our views and our voices heard. And lastly, let's see data protection as a need and not as a compliance regulation. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's give a round of applause to our panel. I think we've learned a lot. Odalo style. Let's be more energetic than that. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Sylvia. That was very well done. Quite a lot to learn and just absorb. The numbers speaks for themselves. So we want to take a photo before we let you go. And we also have a little something for you, just as a reminder that this day actually happened, and you can always reflect back and remember those commitments and the synergies that we've said we want to create. We are going to take the questions when we go back to the 3 thematic groups that we were in before we went for lunch. Then, we can have those one-on-ones, and some of the questions can be asked there. So right now, just stand up. Are you ready? Just hold on. I think they want to have some Backdrop, yep. So in a couple of minutes, take your time, Lucy. Don't panic, don't worry. These guys are patient. I know you're almost there. There you are. You made it. So, do you have them with that background? Are you sure? They didn't even smile. They were still pangaing themselves. So now they are ready. Yeah, wanaju pangaing, sindio? Smile. So I also want to call a couple of people. You just remain there. So if you hear your name, please join them on the stage. Maybe I can have the ushers assist us to remove the tables from the stage. Some support. Let's just remove the tables and the water from the stage. So we have George Orude. Hanning. Please join your colleagues on the stage. James Mbaria. Yes, I know he's somewhere over there. Please come over this side. We have Anne from USAID. Is Anne here? Still here? Oh, she went out. Somebody could signal her. We have George Kogola. George, are you still here? George Kogola. Dr. Maxi Gluckman. Dr. Maxi, if you're here, Dr. Maxi, great. We have Bloom. Is that Evan? Or is someone else? Ah, that's Evan Bloom. Ah, good. Now I know your other name. Please join us here. And we have Sue Bloom as well. Good. You can also join us at the stage. Angela Serrano. Forgive my manners. I'll get acquainted. And at least I got Angela right. James Omolo. Ah, that was a good shocker. Please join your colleagues. And we have Vicky from Making Sense International. Is she here? Ah, that's you. Great. So we want to take another photo, and we'll have, yes, our ushers are ready with the beautiful gifts. Are you okay? Can we do it? Can we do it? Yeah. Okay, support. Let's just remove the seats. Sorry, I know you've already posed. Wow. Hey, you're not hiding them. I like the way you have taken an angle. You've said everybody is facing this side. You're facing the exit. You're ready to go. Thank you very much. Makofi to our ushers. They've been really supporting us. Can you just give them a round of applause? Thank you very much. You've been doing an amazing job. So now that's even better. So we can take those poses. Are you ready? You can have Angela shift to the other side. In between AC. Just next to AC. Yeah, right over there. Great. Say icon. Okay, so just hold on. I'll also ask the ushers to come in with a little something for you, just to appreciate you and also to tell you, know what? We want you to go back home, look at this, and remember the Icon Data Summit, and let's cement those relationships. Sylvia you can support us, you can give them wageni. Wewe kama mtu wa nyumba, watu wa nyumba wapatie wageni, na photo. JK, this is the time wewe kama mtu wa nyumba pia unaendanga unatusaidia. Yes, and you look at the camera. Hey. So JK will help you, don't worry. Smile. Great. Next person. James. Nice, James. Next, that is right over there. Look at the camera. Great. JK, you want to support? One more, and JK is coming to support you. Oh, you want a hug? Oh. Oh, George, where were you? We've been looking all over for you. Thank you for showing up just at the right time. Yes. Thank you very much. Honey. That is the name that is going to stick around for a very long time. Thank you. We appreciate. Makofi kwake. Thank you very much, JK. That's amazing. So, George, please. Okay, let's go. George, we called you. Hey. Hey, it's always very nice to give your boss something. Hey. They will always remember. Ito vizuri. So George, you'll remain there. Thank you, Zaidi. Look at the camera. Let's something for the camera. Good. Yes. Thank you very much. And we have Evan. As you're looking at the camera, thank you. And of course to you, Sue. Thank you very much, George. We appreciate. Makofi kwao. So guys, we are coming to the tail end of the Kisumu Icon Data Summit. It has been quite engaging and informative. And we still want to just take a few minutes because I know we didn't get a chance to ask the so many questions that we had during the panel discussion. So I want us just to take this moment. Let's go back to those specific groups right over here. Because of time, we're not able to go upstairs. So we will just go to those three thematic areas, discussions. This was the capacity skills team. Please, let's just converge here. Then we had the policy team where Angela is. And then we had the resource centers right behind. So let's go back to those groups. And I want to request the panelists who are with Sylvia just to make sure that they don't sit in one group, because some people have some burning questions that they would like to ask them one-on-one, so they can strategically join other groups so that we don't have 3 or 2 people in the same group. Thank you very much. Let's just do that and we can wrap up shortly, call it a day.
All right, as a reminder of what you're doing this afternoon, we began an interesting conversation before lunch, isn't it? In our different groups, we were able to start thinking about what's the next step. And so what we're going to do this afternoon, or is it evening, is to continue what we began. And where do we want to reach? What's the goal for this afternoon? We want to make sure we get to the place where we understand if we find ourselves in December 2025, what will success have looked like for us? In each of your groups, we're going to co-facilitate with you, the Root Change team, myself, And we want to really get to that point where we have some tangible goals, some goals that have started forming of what exactly we want to achieve as the next step of the icon. Remember, we are talking about collaboration, working with each other. So let's have that in mind as you're thinking about what you can actually achieve realistically, what is feasible, what is impactful, what can we get to by the end of December 2025. If we achieve these 1, 2, 3 things by the end of next year, we shall say we have done our part. We are happy with where we have reached. So let's have that in mind as we get into our respective groups. Thank you.
And just finish up on that so that we close by exactly 4:30. Sindio? Yeah. Hello?
James.
The policy team? Let's go back to that team. The policy, where are we seated? Policy. Capacity skills. Tuko hapa, Doreen na watu wako. Mujibebe.
James na watu wake waende pale.
Alafu hapa kwa resource centers tuko na Arthur na watu wake.
Baba sikuachi.
Wako wapi Arthur? Great. Yvonne na watu wenu. Sharon. Arthur, where are your people? Umeacha bagi yako. Utaipata tu. Nice. So we close by exactly 4:30.
Where you are. Yes, this is capacity. This is team capacity.
He is where Sylvia is at the moment.
Wakuje. Capacity and skills, we are here. Kameni. Watu waamke, wachangamke. Capacity and skills.
Feel free to join any other team that you feel aligns with what you're doing. And you've said I know we are now finalizing on solidifying our synergies. And this is just an alert that we will be done in the next 3 minutes. So we could wrap up on the final words, the final commitments. I hope we have a clear pathway. So at exactly 4:45, we will stop and take feedback from a representative from each group. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I'll be walking. I hope you have a representative. I'll start with the capacity skills team just to share with us the final commitments that they have agreed on, the final words, the pathways that they're going to create. What is the next step? What do they mean when they're saying they're now partnering for change? What does that mean to them as we move forward? So I'll start with capacity skills team. Then I'll go to the policy team. I hope you have someone ready to speak on behalf of the team. And finally, we will have the resource center team. I hope, Arthur, you have somebody ready to speak on behalf of the team. After that, we will go straight to the final remarks from Alex. And then we will close with a vote of thanks from JK, or rather James Karongo. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being so active, so energetic, and so patient, and also flexible in terms of adapting to the different changes that were coming through in between the sessions. And also, you know, when we were overlapping, you were very patient and understanding. So I really want to thank you. Thank you to all our panelists. You've done an amazing job. You've set the ball rolling. The iconers, you are champions, and we are looking up to you guys. We are waiting to see what are we going to have once the program is done. What are we leaving in terms of institutionalization? So we really want to thank you for the good job that you've done with the research. And now we have a clear understanding of what research to change clearly means. So I'll start with the capacity skills team. Who is your spokesperson? You have a mic, yes? I'll give you a minute. Thank you, Sharon. It's evening.
Yeah, so we've gotten 2 key commitments that we are going to work with everyone in the room. So one of them, first, NGAF is committing to help us and work together with us to register 50 active youth-led groups in accessing grants from GAF so that we are able to expand and grow their businesses ventures in Kisumu County. And then we are having another extra 50 from Youth Enterprise Fund, Uwezo Fund, and all the other financiers in Kisumu County. So by 2025, that's for the next 1 year, we are going to ensure 100 youth businesses are able to access funding. And then the young people also want to see peer-to-peer learning. So we are committing that by 2025, we need to have a youth investor network that will be running to mentor the youth on financial literacy, registering business, and ensuring accessibility to financial opportunities. So those are our 2 commitments.
Thank you very much. Nothing more to add. Policy?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for team policy. these are the things that we're committing to ensure that we are somewhere with the Kisumu County Youth Development Policy. One, we have relooked into different documents that we have. One of them is the roadmap that is going to guide the process. It has all the details in terms of budget, cost, and everything. And so the first thing we are going to do is do a review of the roadmap, because when we look at our timeline, between 10 to 12 months, we need to reset it so that we start it, we see how we can achieve it, what can be achieved within that particular month. And so we've had commitments from the State Department of Youth Affairs, that was represented by Mr. Joshua Kalwach. We've had a commitment from Directorate of Youth, Sports and Culture, represented by Mr. George Rude. And we've also had a commitment from the County Assembly of Kisumu, that is represented by Honorable James. And of course, our civil society representation and ICON participants. So what we are going to do also, we are going to leverage on collaborations, public-private collaborations, to ensure that at the end of this stipulated timeline, we will have worked on something. Maybe it might not be fully achieved, but at least halfly or partially achieved. So that is what we have discussed from Team Policy.
Those are some concrete plans, and we keep emphasizing on collaboration, collaboration, collaboration. That is the gospel. Team Resource Centers.
Thank you so much. So, first of all, all of us committed to seeing a youth center, not a resource center that is being utilized by young people, that is inclusive and multi-purpose by end of 2025. And in our group, we did not have any government official. We were mostly youth-led and youth-serving organization. And we defined the model youth center to have these qualities. One, it is functional and equipped. And then it is being used by young people. And then it is also being managed by young people. And it offers increased opportunity for young people to be able to access employment. Above all, it is multi-purpose, because young people use resource centers that are not only for seeking employment, but for personal development. So that is all that we were able, and everyone said that they were interested and committed to see this come to reality.
Thank you very much. That is very practical. Actually, what the young people are doing today on the street, they're showing governments how things are supposed to be done. And like you mentioned, this group did not have anybody from government, but you really want to give us a model resource center. So we are really looking forward to see how young people are going to unite and ensure that this actually come to realization. A round of applause to them. Wow. This is the point we say, finally. Unfortunately, this beautiful summit has to come to an end. And I would like to call upon Alex Ayub, to give us his final closing remarks. Then once he is done, JK will be here to give us the vote of thanks. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for being alert throughout. Thank you so much.
How many people can see me? Arthur, why is your hand up? You can see me. So, sorry, I was told this is Kisumu when I was coming here, and I was told standards have to be very high. So that's why I decided to come with this laptop on stage for the closing remark here. It's not mine, it's borrowed. It's a lifestyle, right?
Yeah, so I think this has been one of the most remarkable events that I've personally been part of. Not because of the photo, the glam, the food, and the hotel, but because of also the conversation and the course. We are literally people who want to change Kisumu County and change our society. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll read this speech which was prepared for me. Yeah. So Just let me just read a speech prepared for me. So, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and vibrant youth icon enthusiasts, as we draw the curtain on this remarkable Kisumu Youth Data Summit, I'm filled with immense pride and optimism. Over the past 2 days, we have witnessed, of course today included, we have witnessed the incredible power of young minds coming together in a room to explore, innovate, and reimagine the Kisumu County, not just reimagining it ideologically, but through the lens of data. From the insightful keynote speeches yesterday in the morning to the dynamic presentations by the young icon participants who were here, interactive breakout sessions, interactive sessions in the different groups, this summit has been a melting pot of ideas, knowledge, and aspirations. Each one of you in this room has brought unique perspectives and skills to the table, and the collaborative spirit displayed here has been nothing short of inspiring. A round of applause to each and one of you. And so one of the things that we acknowledge, and I got scared when the guy from data, was it Edwin? Edmond. The data team, yeah, data protection team. Yeah, he actually got me scared for a second. I don't know what your feeling was. But we live in an era where data is more than just numbers and statistics. It is the currency of the future. The insights we derive from this data summit have the potential to drive change, solve complex problems, and create a more equitable and sustainable world, not just in Kisumu, but in the whole world. And you, the young people who are in this room, you are the forefront of this transformation. Your curiosity, creativity, and generally your hard work that you've put across for the last couple of months, for the last couple of years, this is the key to the power of harnessing the data, and that is what is going to propel Kisumu to a brighter future. During this summit, you have delved into a myriad of topics, from data on capacity and skills for young people in Kisumu County, to the space for policy and advocacy, and the role of media in fostering work readiness and access to economic opportunities for youth in this county. We have discussed the importance of implementation research, and the role it plays in empowering communities and driving social change. These discussions are not just practical exercises, these are the seeds of a real-world impact. As you return to your perspective day-to-day engagements, I urge you to carry forward the knowledge and insights gathered here, all the practical bits that you've had, not just for Kisumu County, but even for the different spaces that you are in. This is something that we need to continue to question, explore, and innovate. Use these knowledge products. Did you get one? Did you get a knowledge product? Do you have one? Let me see your knowledge product. Does anyone have any knowledge product with them? Okay. Yes. So use these knowledge products. There are petitions that have been done. There are memos that have been done. There are practical notes that have been done. There are some checklists that are here. These are not just documents. These are tools that we can use to catalyze change in the different spaces that we are in. Collaborate with your peers within Kisumu County. Collaborate with the adult allies. Share your knowledge and always strive to learn more. Of course, I'm not here to give the vote of thanks, but it will be wrong if I do not express my gratitude to our speakers, the adult allies, and the organizers, whose dedication and hard work has made this Data Summit 2024 a great success. Your contributions have been invaluable, and your commitment to nurturing this generation and the leaders of now, today, tomorrow, and the future are proud of the support you have given them. Sincere appreciation to the IREX team. Thank you so much for the support that you've given us. And of course, to the Kenya Red Cross team. And of course, we are thanking, this is where Snoop Dogg said, and last but not least, you need to thank me, yeah? So that's Kenya Red Cross thanking us and making the success a summit. Of course, to the USID team, thank you so much for the support that you've given us. And to all the participants, thank you for the enthusiasm and the energy and the passion that you've shown throughout this particular summit. For the ICON participants, a round of applause to all of you. Yes, yes, yes. We are here because of you. We are here because of you. And thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing the incredible things that we are going to come up with, the commitments being translated into actions and journeys. And we hope that 1 year from today, when we look back, we should be able to now say, yes, it was worth it and it was a success. Safe travels to those of you who are going out of United Kisumu, by land, by sea, and by air. Some people are saying air, but someone told me air. So safe travels, and we hope that you enjoyed the hospitality of Kisumu. If you did not, it's just getting started. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hold on. You see, he has lived up to the standards. You seen that gadget? So we can't just clap for ta. No.
Thank you to the sponsors and the support.
Thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much. At this point, I would like to invite someone who has been very instrumental in the whole 2 days. Very flexible, running up and down, and always maintaining his cool, even when some of us are already there. Thank you very much for helping us, control everything and for taking it for the team. James Karongo.
Awesome. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. When you told me 3 weeks ago, when we agreed on the dates of this data summit, that this was going to happen, my boss, Sylvia, and myself at that point, we were 50-50. But having seen what has happened the last 2 days, I'm really proud of everyone in this room. So first and foremost, appreciate yourselves. So I'll make this short and sweet, okay? 3 years ago when we came to Kisumu and we wanted to implement this very big idea called the ICON, which we ourselves as the Youth Excel team did not have any clue or any idea about what this ICON will look like, what it will be. But all we knew is that we wanted to work with 10 organizations in Kisumu, both youth-led and youth-serving. So we sent out an application, we got 50 applicants, we shortlisted them, we visited them, we did due diligence, and we came up with the 10 organizations that we are working with. And, these 10 organizations, if you have not been part of the journey, you will not know what growth these organizations have gone through. Some of the individuals who stood here to do presentations, if you saw them in July 2021 and you saw them in June 2024, you will see a 360-degree transformation. And that's the power of working with young people. And so this evening, as part of my vote of thanks, the first team that I want to appreciate is the ICON participants. For the sleepless nights, the many WhatsApp messages, the many workshops we've done, and I hope you appreciate that all those workshops we did, you saw the fruits yesterday and today, right? So one more time, let's appreciate the ICON participants. For me, the ICON participants are the heroes of this data summit. Not to forget our donor, and represented by our AOR, Anne Heshkovitz. And thank you, Anne, for traveling all the way to be with us for those 2 days. Much appreciated. Yeah, and they usually say, we say adult allies, right? So in USAID, our ICON ally is Anne. She's a really big champion, of the ICON. And that's why we are having the ICON until next year, June. So thank you very much, Anne. I'd like to appreciate our technical support partner, Root Change. led by Evan, Sue, and Angela. We appreciate the many meetings you have had and you also being present with us during this data summit. Hope you're also seeing the fruits of your technical support, being manifested within the ICON participants, within the IREX team, within the Kenya Red Cross team. So thank you very much, and we're looking forward to see how we design the next phase of the ICON together with you. The next team I want to appreciate is the adult allies. If the adult allies are in the room, I see George, I see Eric. You guys stand, we appreciate you. Yeah, James at the back there. George, stand, These people never miss the workshops. So whenever you're doing workshops, they have a day where they come, they listen to the presentations of the participants, they give feedback, they give their insights and they support. And even some of them, when the participants are carrying out the activities, they go and support them. And especially giving them networks. When you need someone, they give you a number and they link you. So let's appreciate them one more time. Okay, in the room, we also have the Kenya Red Cross team. Please stand wherever you are, led by Alex. Yeah, so this team, we have had many sleepless nights with them, many meetings with them to make this happen. And of course, appreciating Alex, your team, Maureen at the back, Rufens, Lucy, who is still out there running around to make things happen. Grace, with your communications team at the back, ensuring that our media needs for this data summit were taken care of. So one more round of applause to the Kenya Red Cross team. I'd like to recognize my fellow IREX colleagues, led by our IREX country representative for Kenya and East Africa, George Kogola. At the back there, we have Hesbon Dongo, who is our senior activity manager. We have Frank Chege at the back there, who is our global mail advisor. At the back there, we have Rita, all the way from Guatemala, who is also our M&D person. We have Dr. Maxi Gluckman, who is our youth technical advisor. Is there anyone from IREX I'm leaving out? Oh, yeah, I was coming to her first. I was trying to look. Of course, myself, James Karongo, clap for me. And last but not least, the star of the event who dealt, so this is what we agreed. She deals with the technical, I deal with the logistics, okay? Because I realized the logistics were giving her some headaches. So I told her, you deal with technical, I deal with logistics, because that's what I do best. Of course, I do well in technical. But to make the event a success, we had to share roles, right? So let's give it up for Sylvia Kananu. Yeah, who's the Youth Excel project lead. So thank you very much for your support in making this happen. Again, I will not forget the partners in the room. So if you are a stakeholder, we invited you and you came. So if you are a stakeholder, stand. And you honored our invite. If you are a stakeholder, please stand. Yes. So thank you very much for taking time from your busy schedule to honor our invite to be with us for those 2 days. So thank you very much. A round of applause for our stakeholders. And also, we had a special group of people. I will be doing injustice if I don't mention them. So these ICON participants, they have young people they work with, right? And we invited those young people to come and see ile data inakwanga collected na our organizations huwa inaenda wapi. So the young people representing the 10 ICON participants, please stand, we also appreciate you. Allah? Oh, they are outside. Okay, very well. And then all the service providers, the PA providers, our live stream providers, the guys who helped us, do anything in this whole process. Let's give them a round of applause. The hotel, I think they gave us very good food at 10, lunchtime, and even now there's still tea outside there. So please ensure you grab a cup of tea before you go, right? So I want us to stand and do one final thing. Stand. All right? Get a partner so that you are two of you. Either. So All right. So are we two people each? So I want you to look at your partner. Face each other. Face each other. Alright, so let's make this quick. Let's have your index finger up. The right index finger up. Is it up? So your left hand, put it on top of your right index finger of your partner. Okay, are we there? So at the count of 3, ensure you grab and you are not grabbed. Have you gotten it? You grab and ensure you are not grabbed. Are we ready? So we do a trisex and then we do it one more time. Are we ready? In the count of 1, 2, relax. Instructions. Let's do it. So at the count of 1, 2, 3. So that was a trisex, okay? That was a trisex. So let's do it one final time. Are you ready? Index finger up. Your left hand on the other one. So in the count of 1, 2, 3. All right, have your seats. All right. Awesome. Awesome. So again, I'd like to recognize the presence of Honorable Lucy Matara. Oh, Nancy, sorry. They told me Lucy. Sorry. So I'd like to recognize the presence of Honorable Nancy. Let's give her a round of applause. Nancy and Honorable James work very closely together. And Nancy, James has represented you very well. He has sat in for the 2 days. He has listened. He has taken notes. And I'm sure he will give you a good report for the 2 days he was here. And I hope the petition will be presented to the assembly. And we know we will get a good feedback. Thank you very much. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the Data Summit. And thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts. Without your presence, this would not have been a success. So thank you for gracing this event and for making it a very huge success. So we'll all see you when we are doing the follow-up meetings, the follow-up commitments. But when we'll gather here next year for Data Summit 3.0, we'll make sure that we again get to see you and get to see a lot of work that has been done by the ICON participants. But I will not leave the stage without appreciating our lovely MCs, Steve and the one and only Purity Akoth. All right? So I think they deserve a better appreciation. So let's give them a 5 factorial, right? Let's give them a 5 factorial. Are we ready? 1, 2, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Mbarikiwe sana.
Thank you very much, JK. For a moment there, I thought James, Steve and I will be just left hanging, and I was ready to say, Steve, we did it. Let's appreciate each other. But we thank you guys. You've been amazing. We have tea served. Please make sure you take a cup before you head back home. We have the iconers are here in case you want more information. You still want to address a couple of issues, please locate them and talk to them. And we're going to close with a word of prayer. Who's touched by the Spirit? Where is the Spirit right now? Steve is touched. Ooh.
I actually wanted to tell you thank you, but I've been told to pray. It's okay, no problem. What did Stephen do, Ayub, in the Bible, if you know? Yes, because of? Wonderful, so I'm a man of faith. Okay, then kindly we can stand for a word of closing prayer. Let it be here so that everybody sees me. Okay. We may bow our heads down. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Father, we thank you for this wonderful day. We thank you for this wonderful forum, for the Icon Data Summit, Father, for the 2 days. We thank you for all the iconers. We thank you for all the stakeholders. We thank you for all the partnerships. We thank you, Father, for the people who congregated here. And we thank you for the wonderful session that we've had. Even as we, Father, come together towards traveling, for the ones who are traveling here, Father, locally, and other ones internationally, that we may prepare well and reach our destinations well. For the resolutions that we've made here, Father, through this forum, that we may be able to deliver them to us, Father, so that we may be able to see the fruition of the change that we are bringing through the youth program, and we may be able to touch the hearts, Father, of the community, and also, Father, inspire other people internationally. We give thanks and praise to you, and we glorify your name. We do pray all this, trusting and believing in Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Can you all say amen? In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
See ya.
Adios. Thank you. And thank you very much to our photographers, videographers. You make sure that we were online 24/7.
Yeah, you can still take photos.
Thanks
outside.
for the
I
nice
remember James
photos.
telling us you can still take photos if you want. Yes.
You can still take photos.
Yeah,
The,
can take photos.
the banner is over there. Come, let's take a photo here. If you want to take a photo with the MC, this is your moment to shine with me. If you want to take a photo with a celeb, this is the time to take the photo with a celeb. She's right here on the stage, going once. The celebs are always very busy. If you don't want to take a photo with me now, don't come later. This is your moment. So let's grab a cup of coffee, tea. Come take photos with your local celebrities.